What US has done is migrated all its other hard work, labor work to other economies. Very smoothly it shifted all its manufacturing out of US. And now they are facing consequences of that, and they say that we want to get our manufacturing back.
What is the tipping point where, let's say, this bubble would burst?
There was a phase where Brexit happened. And because of Brexit, Europe could not have its standing together kind of positioning, and it lost value and could not come up to the scale to be in a position to challenge what US dollar could be doing today.
So, sir, America's debt today stands at roughly $36 trillion. And when I say $36 trillion, obviously it's a huge number. But this is never the talk of the town. We never hear this topic to be debated, or let's say even referred to, all these news channels, in the entire media when it comes to the entire stock market analysis, or let's say market analysis or global market analysis. We never hear that what was the US debt, let's say in maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it has almost doubled or tripled. And it is just happening. They're just shifting the post, every 2-3 years. For like how it currently stands at $36 trillion, the next post is, let's say, $41 trillion, right? So, why is that the case? Why is this not talked about? Because, you've been in the wealth management space for about 30-35 years. Why do you think that is the case?
See, the concern related to US dollar is there, and the implications related to this are also there. And as you very rightly said, they are not being highlighted. Why they are not being highlighted? Why they are not a part of the main headlines? The exemplary resilience which Indian economy has shown since COVID days has been phenomenal. And that gives a unique level of, perhaps scary level of comfort to the, from an analyst's point of view, for an investor's portfolio, because whether it's a Ukraine-Russia war, whether it's a Israel-Palestine war, Indian neighborhood, whether it was Sri Lanka or Maldives or Bangladesh or Pakistan bombing and the surprise attack and multiple kind of, although on lesser scale, but social difficulties also.
Yeah.
They are not as large as that used to be there, but are they complete died out? No, they are not.
Yeah.
Irrespective of multiple formats of concerns, the Indian markets have been resilient, and now the investors have become relatively thick-skinned with their confidence on the government that Indian economy तो चल जाएगा, मोदी जी सब बचा लेंगे.
Right.
और वो हम लोग अपने आप स्मूथली अपना रिटर्न पे फोकस करते हैं, बाकी सब तो हो ही रहा है, पहले भी हुआ था, निकाल लिया था, गलती हो गई थी, थोड़ा लॉस हो गया, इसलिए अब की बार निकालेंगे फिर नहीं, हम चलते हैं. दिस resilience is slightly scary, is what I believe. Why the markets are not reacting is because every time anything where maybe US is in background for initiating all these wars or all these crises, and specifically the trade war we are seeing this recently, things are smooth for India. A, for India's dominance in the global economic system, and B, the confidence that the leadership will be able to manage this equation very well and will come out smoothly to advantage of India. So that confidence in the leadership or the government is what is inspiring this. That is where we are.
Fine. Like, I get it that from India's perspective, things look good long term, and India has been very resilient. And you have also warned about this optimism, right? That this can backfire. But if I specifically talk about America here, because this will trickle down from America first, right? That when, let's say, if they have so much of debt on their hands, that when they finally start, when it will be sort of like a domino situation where, one thing starts to fall and then the rest of the economy will follow. What is maybe US's arguments against this? Like, if you, let's say, you are the Fed, right? You very well know that your debt is rising every single year, and yes, they do say that this is all unrealized losses and everything. They must have some sort of backup plan, right? Or they, let's say, they have some reserves in order to cater this, like how RBI has been very prudent and very logical about things. How is US Fed not doing that then?
It's a function of authority, perception, approach,
Right.
and more of how the historical global currencies have behaved. The global reserve currencies have behaved. Because US feels that they can always walk away with whatever they do smoothly with their head held high. So that overconfidence is making them feel relaxed about it. But on the numbers, in the economy, on the specific corporate balance sheet, or the employment numbers, or the consumption numbers, things are getting weaker day by day.
Yeah.
From the social infrastructure managed to the physical infrastructure being done
Right.
to the way the releases are being done, the challenges are increasing. In fact, there are a lot of organizations where the unemployment numbers have been increasing. And there are a lot of Chapter 11s and winding ups and delinquencies happening from housing loans to corporate loans. Student loans and credit card loans is a new category which has
Yeah.
started growing large. Buy now, pay later was
Yeah.
a category which emerged over last few years. And now if I start buying my house grocery from buy now, pay later kind of stuff,
Right.
it cannot be a normal economy.
Yes. Absolutely.
The percentage of users for these facilities have increased from 14% to 25%. So yes, things are not normal for an average American.
But again, the same old argument which comes in, or let's say what they do, what they also did during COVID. I think before just a year in COVID, around 2019, they started printing more dollar, right? And they've been doing it very aggressively. And this always seems to sort of create a mass. I would say that they're able to mask the symptoms by doing that. Obviously, the root cause is not being addressed. But when what is the tipping point where, let's say, this bubble would burst?
See, you have to get into the background for what all is happening. What US has done is migrated or the hard work, labor work to other economies. Very smoothly, it shifted all its manufacturing out of US.
Right.
And now they are facing consequences of that, and they say that we want to get our manufacturing back. Current demographic position, they are not in a position to get that back. They don't
Right.
have sufficient people, and then they want to do the visa related stuff, or they want to do the other residency related stuff. So that all is not a smooth scenario.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, other economies, for somebody's gain, it's somebody's loss also.
Right.
Now, the loss has been prevailing for long at multiple fronts, and there are a lot of sufferers related to that. The sufferers have clubbed up together and are teaming up, though they still have some other differences. But at least for US, they all are teaming up together. That is, perhaps you can call it equivalent to a BRICS also forming up,
Hmm.
for some other organizations also moving up on those accounts. Maybe I have a African club, I'll have a SCU or some other things. But BRICS perhaps is the largest community and which is adding members and will add more members
Right.
related to this.
Right.
Last time when Europe was setting up euro as the currency to take up and challenge the dollar's global reserve status or positioning and maintain its things with all the long term negotiations, settlements, discussions, and everything. There was a phase where Brexit happened. And because of Brexit, Europe could not have its standing together kind of positioning, and it lost value and could not come up to the scale to be in a position to challenge what US dollar could be doing today.
Right.
Will it happen this time or no? I don't know. But perhaps what will happen is a multipolar currency world.